Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and this week we're gonna do a little different type of video. So check the intro and I'll see you back here. Alright, so today's plan is to play Gunslug 3. Well, I'm gonna play it, you can watch obviously. I haven't touched this game for 5 or 6 months. I developed the current build in December and January, and then Sir Questionnaire happened, so I've been spending most of my time on Sir Questionnaire, and now I'm gonna go dive back into this game. My first step is gonna be look at the game and see what's there, and look at the things I want to keep or change or completely remove from the game. Nothing's set in stone. I don't really have design documents for my games. I just have a basic idea what I want to create, and then I build on that and come up with ideas as I go along. So I might end up with a completely different game than what I set out to create. So the first step is booting up Gunslugs, and then we're gonna play it, and we'll see what thoughts come up in my head. So normally I develop and design my games and test them on the PC first. And once the gameplay is working and everything is moving towards a release, I'll start adding touch controls and all those things for mobile versions, and then I'll be testing on my iPad and on my Nexus 5 Android phone. So there's still a lot that needs to be added to the game. The first stage of a new game development is usually a lot of stuff happens, and a lot of stuff immediately comes to life, so you get a sense of a very fast development. But then the details come in, and those details take a lot longer to create and develop. So since this is a Gunslugs game, there is really a lot of stuff that is just there because it was in the original Gunslugs. So the crates, the horizontal scrolling with buildings in it. I already put a lot of time in getting these buildings created. They are procedurally generated, much like Meganoid was, or Meganoid 2017 was. The levels are built from templates, so there is some design going into them, and those templates are then combined into levels. There isn't really much going on in the level right now yet, which is really one of the pain points, because I have no real clue of what I want to add to these levels. I don't feel like there is enough here to be interesting as a level. I also not sure if I want to keep these type of levels, or if I want to add more tactical things like adding doors and maybe some puzzling here and there, some switches to pull. So I'm still not sure how I want these levels to be created or designed. Right now every building has this long winded level, and maybe there should just be one building with such a level that leads to the end boss, and the other buildings maybe just smaller contained areas or rooms where you can do stuff or can get stuff or something interesting. I'm not sure yet. So one thing I know that I will change is this whole weapon system. I'm not sure what I was thinking with it, but it's very limiting. Right now every player gets one base weapon, or every character gets one base weapon, and you can pick up other weapons as a secondary weapon. Yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm not sure how I'm gonna fix it, but having just recently played Groundskeeper 2 a lot because of the remastering, I do like how I did the bonus and weapon upgrades in that game, and maybe each character will have its own base weapon, which would make it interesting to pick a right character at the start of the game. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do this, but I know the current system, the current weapon system, will be removed. I don't like it. The fun part, of course, is that I put a lot of time in this current weapon system. But if something doesn't work, it just doesn't work. Hey. So one other detail or thing I noticed about this, the enemies are a little bit too quick to attack you. They're a little bit too random in how they move, so that needs a little changing. Sometimes they'll notice you from afar, other times they won't notice you at all. It's, I guess, realistic, but it's no fun. Sometimes realism just isn't the best solution for a game. So I'm gonna change how these enemies respond to you or to you being near them. I was thinking about so all your movements making sound or noises somehow that can trigger the enemy depending on where you are and how far you are, because features like that make it easy to create a roguelike, because we can then create a bunch of items that will basically work with the fact of you making sound and triggering enemies. So you could maybe like get a pair of socks and then you make less noise when you move around the level. Things like that. So the more interesting base features, the more interesting items we will have in the end. And maybe it will be able to shoot out the lights in a level so that enemies can't see you, but then you can't see them unless you have like night vision or something. And that all makes the game a little bit more tactical, which is really the thing I was aiming for with this game. And I do love those explosions. It's a lot better than the original Gunslugs. So those are really the things I think about when creating a game, and I'm just going to write all these things down in my Trello to-do lists, and we'll see what makes it into the game and what doesn't. Usually good ideas will hang around in my head until I have a good way to add them to the game, and bad ideas often get pushed back into the to-do list and then delayed and then removed and archived to never be seen at all. Alright, so we also added a first end boss or a first end of level boss. The plan is to have multiple end bosses and then have them randomly appear, so you never know quite which enemy you're gonna face. Right now there's only one, so it's also obvious which I'm gonna face. And that's just, oh, I'm just down to 1 health. And this is really how game development works, or game design, for me at least. I just play a lot of the game and then I'll just check what is working, what isn't, and I do this with every little feature I add. Basically for me, game design is pretty much how children invent games. If you give a random kid a random stuff and you tell him to come up with a game, eventually there will be a game with those random stuff in it. And that's how game development works. You start with a certain thing, it can be a character, it can be a setting, can be a genre, and then basically from that point on you just try to figure out what works and what do I want to add and how does that interact with the rest of the stuff in the game, and eventually you end up with a game, or you end up with a prototype that goes nowhere and is another game, and then you'll have to start all over again with something new and fresh ideas. My goal for the game is to have it done or playable around December. But I will be having a version of this game playable for my Patreons on the Patreon page. Check the description below. You will be able to play the current version I'm working on right now. I try to upload once a week, so you get a new version every week, only for PC, Windows, Mac and Linux. Not for mobile just yet, because the game doesn't run on mobile. It's just for PC as I develop it. It can change a lot every week, so don't get set on certain features the game has right now, because they might be gone next week if I don't believe in them anymore or think they're terribly designed. They might just be removed the week after. That's really how game development goes. So if you want to follow how it goes, if you want to follow this game every week, then become a patron and you can play it as we go along. So the few things I settle on now is that this weapon system needs to go. It's just no fun how it is implemented right now. I'm just gonna kick it all out and start all over. The weapons I have will remain because some of the weapons are pretty good and pretty fun to play with, but how you upgrade and how you have 1 or 2 weapons, it's gonna change a lot in the next few versions. I want to improve on the level design because there is no real level design right now. It's just you enter at the bottom and then you find the way to the top. There's not a lot there, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do with the buildings and if I want every building to have a full level or just maybe a single room, something like that. And we're gonna improve on the enemies, on the enemy soldiers at least. They need to be a lot smarter, but also more predictable on what they are doing and when they are doing it, so that you can really play with tactics against them. So those are a few things I'm gonna add to my Trello to-do list. That's what I'm gonna be working on the coming weeks. And if I have new stuff to show, you know where to watch. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about these type of videos. It's a new thing I'm trying, just giving you a little detail and a little behind the scenes process of an actual game development. I couldn't do this on Sir Questionnaire because I wanted to keep it a little bit secret before I released it. I can do it a lot easier on this game, and there's a lot of months left for development, so there will be a lot more content and talk about Gunslug 3 as we go in the next few weeks. So let me know what you think about these type of videos in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.